All right, gang, since we've been talking about temporary pacemaking, I figured it wouldn't hurt to go over the actual transcutaneous temporary pacemaker as well, the good old Zoll defibrillator, because your patient will be on pads until we get a temporary pacemaker put in place, the wire, that is. So I just want to walk you through this, how you're going to use it as a pacemaker. So let me zoom in a little closer, and we'll kick ourselves to monitor and see what kind of rhythm we got. So as a default, it's actually looking through the pads right now. That chirping is going to get really annoying, but we know for sure we got a nice slow rhythm of 38. So I'll turn the QRS volume off. So our heart rate's 38. All I know is it's wide and it's slow. That's enough to let me know the patient's probably symptomatic. But if we use our lead button here, we can switch to our 2 lead, which doesn't really give us much different of a picture, except for now and again we can see some little P waves in there. I'm going to kick this over to pacemaker now, where it actually defaults back to the 2 lead, and it does a really good job of letting us see what our QRS complex looks like. And through here you can see some P waves. I'm going to zoom in real quick just so you can see those a little bit better. Now you'll also notice that there's some QRS spikes. Sorry, there are some pacemaker spikes that are not generating a QRS, which is not what we want, of course, right? So what we need to do is increase the amount of power being created by our pacemaker in order to create capture. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here again, sorry. Go right there. All right, so on the bottom right, you have this dial here, which is rate, and then next to it is your output milliamps. So when it comes to the pads on the pacemaker, there's nothing we can do about sensitivity. It's just there. It does have the ability to inhibit itself, and I'll show you that here in a little while. But for now, let's just focus on this because this is a pretty bad rhythm. The only thing we need to do is we can decrease the number of beats per minute if the physician wants. I don't know about you, but getting shocked 60 or 70 times a minute sounds awful. So we'll go down to 60 just for teaching purposes. Now I'm just going to increase my output, my milliamps, on the little temporary pacemaker, the Cardiotronic 101. That actually uses volts instead of milliamps, but it's the same principle. Low means very little electricity. High means more electricity. And so what I'll do is I'll just kind of jump by tens. And what I'm looking for is when every single spike turns into a QRS. And so even at 50 milliamps, nothing. 60, still no luck. And now you'll see all of a sudden we're getting response. And in fact, every pacer spike is now gaining capture. And we have a nice even rate of 60. And that's really all that is. If I go higher, it's not going to change what we're doing. I'm still getting the capture, except for I'm shocking the patient a lot harder. If I bring it back down, and well, let's see if 66 will work. And 66 does not. So I know my threshold is apparently 68. That's the magic number where this all kicks in. And of course, I'll want to go higher than that, and your physician can help guide you for how much over that 68 mark they want you to be. So that's a 3rd degree block and how we would pace that. Now, if I crank this back down again, and let's change rhythms. And so I've given you another heart block. I'll give you a second to see if you can figure out what it is. I'll actually increase my rate a little bit. Maybe you can read it better. So ultimately, this is actually 2nd degree type 2, where you've got PQRS, 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 and then there's a P wave followed by a long stretch of nothing, and then it repeats. Now I realize these spikes are kind of throwing you off, right? Well, as I increase the stimulus, the output, and I get it back up to 70, you'll see that I'm now well past whatever the patient's naturally going to be doing, which is 80. But we know this patient has an intrinsic rhythm, right? So let's go back down to 40. And what's happening is the pacemaker's only pacing when there's been a long stretch of inactivity. So if I increase my rate to 50, that looks a little more natural, doesn't it? And what you see is that the pacemaker right at 50 winds up taking over completely. Whereas if I go down to 48, you'll still get some intrinsic beats through there. So there is some sensing going on. It's not amazing. There's nothing you can really do to adjust it. And so that'll really be up to the physician how aggressive they want you to be in trying to pace something like this where they've got a decent intrinsic rate. And that's the long and short of on how to use that.